How's everyone doing? Today I'll be doing a random Blu-ray shelf video. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I thought they were kind of fun because, again, I don't have my collection organized. I just have random stuff on here in no particular order. It's kind of fun that way, but I do plan to organize my collection eventually. Here we go. Here's a quick look at the three bookcases that I have right now. There's a bunch of stuff on the floor. I've got tons over here as well in the closet. There's a bunch of Criterions over there. I've got some, oh yeah, all over here too. Right there. I've got some in that closet too, and some boxes. I've got some stuff on the sides. I got a little bit everywhere, basically. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and show you this random Blu-ray shelf. I know I've done a bunch of different ones in the past, so I'm not going to say random Blu-ray shelf number 89. You know what I mean? So this is just going to be a random Blu-ray shelf video. So let's check it out. And as always, if you've seen these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them as well. And let me know what you think of this random Blu-ray shelf video. Again, hopefully this will be short-lived, because hopefully I'll have everything organized finally. So, but let me know if you like this kind of random stuff. I think it's fun. Hopefully you guys do too. But let's check it out. Here we go, random Blu-ray shelf. First up is The Captive. I thought this was an amazing movie, one of my favorite movies of 2014. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It is a kind of a darker movie. It's about a couple who gets their young daughter kidnapped, and she becomes part of this like sex ring, underage like child sex ring thing, and it's very dramatic and a fantastic dramatic performance from Ryan Reynolds, probably his best. And the cast here is fantastic. Scott Speedman plays the kind of rude jerk detective. Rosario Dawson is fantastic in here. Muriel Enos, Kevin Durant was really good in here. Bruce Greenwood, a lot of familiar faces, and I love movies set with a snowy setting, and this had that, and it kind of reflects the bleak tone of the film as well, because it's kind of a washed out look, but really love the heck out of that one. And some really creepy moments in here, especially from Kevin Durant. Next up is Wolf Cop. This is absolutely hilarious. Fantastic horror movie, probably one of my favorite horror movies from 2014. Just pure entertainment. Definitely check it out. I think even if you're not a big horror movie fan, you can appreciate this for the comedic aspects too. It's just pure entertainment. Next up is Dragon Wolf. Next up is Joe with Nicolas Cage and Ty Sheridan. Reminds me a lot of the next movie on the shelf right there, Mud. Again, it does have Ty Sheridan in it, and it has kind of a similar setting too, in the woods and things like that. But a great dramatic role from Nicolas Cage, definitely one of his best in a long time. Next up is Mud. This was fantastic. One of my favorite movies of 2013 right here. And a fantastic performance from Matthew McConaughey. He's kind of all over the place with his acting, but lately he's been killing it. I loved him in Killer Joe. Loved him in Mud. Loved him in, oh my gosh, the one that won all the awards. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. Dallas Buyers Club. There we go. I was having a major brain fart right there, but he was fantastic in that too. But yeah, he's been around for a long time. He's been in different movies that I wasn't a fan of, like Failure to Launch, Surfer Dude, but he's done some great things as well. Time to Kill, Dazed and Confused. Alright, alright, alright. But I love Mud. Just fantastic casting here. Ty Sheridan is a fantastic young actor, and I can't wait to see what he does in the future as well. Reese Witherspoon played her part very well. I like Sam Shepard a lot as an actor, but really dig this one. It also has, how come he's not on the front? What's the guy's name? He's in here too. Hold on, I'll just have you look over here while I'm looking. Michael Shannon. He was in here. It's a smaller role, but I figured he's a pretty well-known actor. I figured he would have a good billing on there too. Next up is Dodgeball. Hilarious. Signs. This movie creeped me the heck out. I saw it in theaters. The whole theater jumped. The one aspect of the kid's birthday party. And then I remember seeing this after in home video too in my fraternity house. And we were like a bunch of, you know, fraternity guys, tough guys, and we're all watching this in this dark room, and we're all kind of like, we're not saying it, but we're all a little freaked out by it. But I love this movie. Again, I love movies that have to deal with like aliens and stuff like that, so big fan. Another alien movie, but different concept. Twilight Time release for Enemy Mine, classic with Louis Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid. And I thought this is one I grew up watching too, so I don't know if it really holds up that well, but it has a lot of nostalgia factor for me. Next up from Michael Haneke is Amour. The next one's from also Michael Haneke too. Big fan of him directing wise. Piano Teacher, he did Funny Games, the original and the remake. White Ribbon, just a phenomenal director. And this was an incredible movie. One of my favorites of, was it 2013? I believe so. One of my favorites of that year. And next up is Cachet, or Hidden. And next up is Sophie Shaw, another dramatic Nazi regime trying to take over the Nazis movie right there. Great dramatic performances in there. Next up is The Flowers of War, another fantastic dramatic movie. Really enjoyed this one. I put it as my favorite movie of, I think 2011, I think it was. But now looking back, I'd probably put Drive in that spot. But that year was a great year for film in general. And really enjoyed this one, dealing with war again. And I love the aspect to it. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. Crush, which I thought this was pretty good. I don't hear anybody talk about this one. It's basically a girl who has a crush and goes crazy, and very suspenseful and good performances in it. One of the better ones of that kind of particular genre. Another Earth, really surreal film. Great actor performances, especially from the lead actress. Kind of a cool sci-fi element to it as well. Immortals 3D, good action. American Reunion, love this franchise, the original American Pie movies. And this one is just really, it's kind of sad in a way, but it's really true. You know, how friends get over the years, sometimes you drift apart. It's just kind of the way things go, but it's really kind of cool to see the reunion of it. And I kind of felt like, you know, I kind of grew up with this series. I remember watching American Wedding in the theaters with my dad, and that was so not a movie to watch with a parent, because the very first scene has to do with a blowjob underneath the table. So, awkward, but love this movie as well. There's a lot of emotional honesty in here. And when you go back to your hometown and things like that and see old friends, and I love it. I dig it. And good humor in there too. Sometimes it went a little bit over the top, but again, it's American Pie. True Romance, absolute classic right here. Highly recommend the heck out of True Romance if you haven't seen it. Great performances all the way around. I especially love Gary Oldman in this one. He plays a great villain. Westworld. This was written and directed by Michael Crichton. And there's also Tomorrow World too as well. Compliance, which I did a full movie review for. This was incredible to me. I love the heck out of it. I can't believe people were tricked though. Are there really that many naive people out there? Basically, somebody calls in and pretends that they're a police officer, and they have at this like a fast food restaurant, and they hold this girl captive, and they tell the people, like the manager there, to like strip her and do all these kinds of things. And it's just crazy that people just go along with it because they think it's a police officer on the other line of the phone. And so basically it's just a prank call, and they did this to I think like 70 different restaurants or something crazy. But great performances in there, even though it's shocking that people are that ignorant. And next up, Deadfall. Again, I love movies with a snowy setting. Some really good dramatic elements to this one as well, and a fantastic cast. Eric Bana, Olivia Wilde, Charlie Hunnam. Again, I'm sad to see Sons of Anarchy go. Jax. I think he's always going to be Jax. Chris Christopherson's in here. Sissy Spacek. Fantastic cast, and a pretty good film overall. My Week with Marilyn. Pretty good cast. Michelle Williams. I think she deserves to be in more stuff. Trying to remember Eddie Redmayne, of course, The Theory of Everything recently. Kenneth Branagh and Dame Judi Dench. Bronson, which is super underrated. I don't hear enough people talk about this one. A fantastic Nicholas Winding Refn film. Really enjoy him as a director. And again, this is Tom Hardy, who is a phenomenal actor in my opinion, and he was great in this. The Place Beyond the Pines. I love the heck out of this one. It's kind of a movie of 3 stories right here, 3 segments. This first segment was my favorite. Reminds me a little bit of Drive again. Ryan Gosling playing that kind of brooding character, and Eva Mendes is stunning. It's kind of a tale of fathers and sons as well. For me, the movie gets progressively weak with each segment. I love the first segment. I could have watched a full movie just around that segment. The second segment was good. The third segment kind of was the weakest of the bunch, but still an enjoyable film overall that I really do dig. Killer Joe, a great performance from Matthew McConaughey. The whole cast in here is just phenomenal. And it's a William Friedkin film. And Thomas Hayden Church is in here, Gina Gershon, Juno Temple, and Mel Hirsch. I really enjoy Mel Hirsch as an actor. And Juno Temple, oh, she gets naked in here. Just saying, it's worth checking out just for that. Juno Temple is stunning. Holy moly, is she hot. But really good, dark film. The ending was crazy. Rover, which I love this one. It's probably one of my favorite films of 2014 as well. A great Aussie flick. And I love the Outback as a setting. And Robert Pattinson doing his best Lenny impression. Probably one of his best roles, actually, in my opinion. And really enjoyed Guy Pearce as an actor. And he's been around for a long time. He's always been great. And here are a couple San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. I believe this is 2013, yeah. Silence of the Lambs, the Hannibal Lecter mask right there. And the original The Day the Earth Stood Still. And each one of these is kind of a simplistic design, and then it has the year of the film as well. Really like those slip covers. Next up is Big Daddy, Adam Sandler. Classic comedy, back when Adam Sandler was still really funny. Not a huge fan of a lot of what he's doing lately. Nicolas Cage in Wind Talkers. Really enjoyed that one. Pretty good war movie. Hulk Hogan, No Holds Barred, with Zeus, Tiny, Debo right there. Great action in there. A little cheesy now, but a good nostalgia. The Machinist with Christian Bale. Absolutely phenomenal film. He lost like a ton of weight to do this. I remember in the, I think it was the commentary for it, they said all he ate was apples and tuna fish. And he was just incredibly just gaunt and skinny and looked like he was going to basically pass away. He looked like he was sickly. But this is the only movie ever that I watched, and at the end of it I was like, what? I didn't fully get it. And it took me like 5 minutes of really thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh. And it just blew me away. And then I got it. It's like, it all makes sense now. And just an incredible performance. It's an all-time favorite of mine. Definitely check out The Machinist. It is very dramatically paced, which might turn some people off, but it's definitely worth it. I know I said I didn't like Adam Sandler's recent stuff, but I do like this one. Another great pairing with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. Really love his previous ones, 50 First Dates and The Wedding Singer with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. And this was a good family comedy movie. And Terry Crews cracked me up. He kind of steals every scene that he's in, too. Next up is Serendipity, one of my favorite romantic movies. I saw this in the theaters twice. Love this one. Great soundtrack to it. I like John Cusack a lot, Kate Beckinsale. Really enjoyed this one. Next up is Outlander with James Caviezel, Ron Perlman, John Hurt. Jim Caviezel, sorry. I like that sci-fi action. Leon the Professional, an absolute classic, one of my all-time favorites. Who knew that Natalie Portman would grow up to be such a fantastic actress? Gary Oldman, love him again. I love when he plays a bad guy too. And the lead actor, Jean Reno, phenomenal in here. Next up is Dreamscape with Dennis Quaid, Max von Sydow, and Christopher Plummer. The Natural with Robert Redford. Classic baseball movie. Twister. Always enjoyed that one as well. You've Got Mail, which again is another one of my favorite romance movies. I'm not too big on the romance genre, but this is definitely one that I really enjoyed. I like Tom Hanks a lot as an actor, and old school Meg Ryan as well. And great supporting cast in there too. Next up is Fear with Mark Wahlberg, Reese Witherspoon, William Peterson's in here as well. Really love old school Marky Mark. I don't think he's a fantastic actor by any means, but he's got great screen presence. And I love the scene where he's... He was great in that role, though. Really perfect for him. That kind of darker, tough guy role. Major League, love this. Hilarious. You know, old school Charlie Sheen before he burnt out his mind on coke. But love the cast in there, too. And I think there's actually a third. I thought there was only two, but I think there's actually a third one. But there's like, I don't know, I think maybe Corbin Burns was like the only one left in there from then. Somewhere in Time, I remember this being really enjoyable as well. Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour. Christopher Reeve, may he rest in peace. He'll always be Superman for me. And one of the reasons why I don't do horses, or motorcycles for that matter. You know, it just takes one time. You could be riding them all your life, horses and motorcycles. And just that one time can just, that'll be it. And just not worth the risk to me. Horses freak me out. Staying away from them. Mallrats right here. This is the cool slipcover edition right here. Kind of gatefold one that opens up like that. Talks about the 90s. And I always loved Mallrats. I like movies with a mall setting too. I'd always, Dawn of the Dead, the original, was one of those ones that I used to like a lot because I was like hoping there'd be a zombie apocalypse so me and my friends can hang out in the mall and kill zombies. Chopping Mall is one that I loved a lot growing up as a kid. that one for me, after rewatching it recently, doesn't necessarily hold up that great, but it has a nostalgia factor for me. Mallrats, though, absolutely classic. And Kevin Smith, obviously from Jersey. This is probably my second favorite from him behind Clerks. Although I really liked the Red State as well. And Tusk was just nuts. Friday right here. And you know this, man. This is the director's cut. Haven't seen the director's cut. Don't know how it differs from the original theatrical cut, but I'll be checking it out soon. Debo. Big Perm. Ghost right there. Classic. Listen, I'm okay. I remember one time, it was actually my fraternity house. I'm okay with myself. I'm a man enough to say that I dig Ghost. If you say you don't like Ghost, you're just lying to yourself. Come on. Whoopi Goldberg was great here. But I remember one time in my fraternity house, my roommate and I were watching Ghost. And then this girl, I think she was a boarder. I think it was the summertime. The summertime, a lot of guys go back home, and we rent out rooms to boarders who were taking like summer classes. There was a girl there, and we had just watched Ghost upstairs. And she's like, "Wow, you guys are watching Ghost and you're guys?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, Ghost rocks." And there you go. Next up is Hoax. You know, another one too that I feel like the same way is Dirty Dancing, also with Patrick Swayze. That's another one, I think something like that happens similar too. I'm like, yeah, Dirty Dancing is awesome. I'm a dude, I like Dirty Dancing. Next up is Hoax, though. I really like this one. Richard Gere basically making up this whole lie about him talking to the eccentric millionaire Howard Hughes, but it turns out all to be fake. But I really like that performance from Richard Gere in there. Knucklehead, which I actually still haven't seen. I need to sit down and freaking watch this movie with Dennis Farina and The Big Show and a few other recognizable people in here. It looks like it's going to be terrible. I got it at Blockbuster, but I figured why the heck not. I think it was like a couple dollars, so eventually I'll watch that. Iron Sky, which I thought was a lot of fun. Basically Nazis coming back to try to take over the world. They go on, I think it was like the moon or something. It's been a while since I saw it when it first came out. And I thought it was a lot of fun. Hilarious action, sci-fi elements going on to it. Pure entertainment, though. Altered States, really trippy movie. And some great performances in there as well. Cool Hand Luke, classic right there. The egg scene, all the different times of him trying to escape. One of the, probably the quintessential prison escape movie, besides Shawshank Redemption. There's a ton of great prison escape movies, actually, as well. Papillon is another one that I really enjoy. There's Great Escape. There's so many, but that's one of the all-time classics. Maybe the quintessential one. Punisher Warzone. Some great action in here. Holy moly. This was just a really dark, action-packed version of Punisher. Ramparts with Woody Harrelson, Ned Beatty, Ben Foster, Anne Heche, Ice Cube, Cynthia Nixon, Sigourney Weaver, Robin Penn-Wright, and Steve Buscemi. Actually, it just says Robin Wright on there, but whatever. Star-studded cast in here. And it's basically about a cop who's, people view him as being kind of crooked, and he is in some ways, but the performance from Woody Harrelson in here is absolutely Oscar Award winning worthy in my opinion. But the film itself wasn't as good as his performance. That's the thing. Some of it just didn't really work as well, but the performance from him is incredible. The Hunger Games, the original Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence is absolutely stunning, and man, she's probably one of my favorite celebrity crushes right now. She's beautiful. The Raid Redemption, one of the best action movies ever, in my opinion. Love the heck out of this one. I still need to see the sequel that just came out. Ed Wood, Tim Burton film. This, and again, a star-studded cast in here. Fantastic film all the way around. Bela Lugosi in there. And The Long Good Friday, Bob Hoskins, may he rest in peace, who really recently passed, and Helen Mirren. Oop, Ed Wood got caught behind here. Here we go. The American Beauty, or American Beauty. This movie is one of my all-time favorites. Just, super surreal and an incredible film. Won Best Picture, deservedly so in my opinion. Winner of 5 Academy Awards. This is one of those movies I think you have to see. An incredible film. Very moving. A lot of emotional honesty in there as well. Blood Ties with Clive Owen. Just a great cast in here too. I'm going to go through everybody on this one. But Zoe Saldana, also on my celebrity crush list. Stunning. The Gray, which is probably my favorite Liam Neeson film. Again, I love movies with the snowy setting, but this is more than a survival movie. It has great dramatic aspects to it as well. I love all the flashbacks with his wife and things like that, especially the plane crash scene. Again, a surreal film feel to the film. Blah, 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 blah. Tongue twister. But again, great performance, great action here and suspense. And I love the ending. I heard people complain about the ending, but I really appreciate it. And there's a quick scene, like a split-second scene right after some of the credits, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And I think there you go. That's pretty good. I try not to go too much in depth with some of the films, and but I could talk longer and longer about it, and I'm trying not to because it's already a 20-minute video, so I apologize for that. Thank you for staying with me if you did. And again, let me know what you think about this random Blu-ray shelf series if you want to see more videos like this. And let me know if you've seen these movies and what you think of them as well. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care.